Hey folks! Before you rush to pre-order Terminator 2D, No Fate, you need to hear these 20 insane things that might make or break your decision. We dive deep into what this game really offers, what to expect, and what might annoy you. So hit like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of breakdown. Let's roll. What Terminator 2D No Fate actually is. Terminator 2D No Fate is an officially licensed 2D pixel art side-scroller that reimagines Terminator 2 Judgment Day as a retro-style arcade experience. You get to play through famous scenes from the movie, but the game also adds new levels and original missions to expand the story. The vibe is old-school arcades. Action-packed, run-and-gun, with sneaking, shooting, and high-stakes escapes. The developers at Bitmap Bureau designed it to feel like a 90s arcade throwback, with pixel-perfect visuals, classic gameplay sensibilities, and a soundtrack that echoes the original film's tone. This isn't just a faithful retelling. The game promises to blend iconic movie moments with entirely new content, delivering original scenarios, even ones the film never showed, along with a branching story and multiple endings. This gives players freedom to influence what happens and explore paths beyond the film's timeline. Release date and platforms. It is confirmed for a wide set of platforms: PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, and PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store. Originally, the game was supposed to release on September 5th, 2025. However, it was delayed, first to around October 31st, 2025, then to November 26th, 2025, due to logistic and global trade issues affecting physical copies. Now, the final confirmed launch date is December 12th, 2025 worldwide for both digital and physical versions. Who you play as. In the game, you'll get to control 3 central characters: Sarah Connor, John Connor, and T-800. Each brings a different angle and feel to the missions. As Sarah, or the T-800, you experience scenes closer to the film, escaping danger, fighting the T-1000, and trying to avert Judgment Day. As John Connor, you take on future war missions, leading the human resistance against Skynet in a more war-torn, apocalyptic future setting. This variety means the gameplay doesn't stay one-dimensional. Playing as different characters changes not just the story, but also the tone. Sometimes you're sneaking or escaping, other times you're leading full-on firefights in a ruined world. It gives a richer experience than just following the movie step by step. How the story works. Terminator 2D No Fate largely follows the core storyline of the movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but it expands that narrative by adding new levels, locations, and completely fresh missions. You don't just rewatch the film, you explore events and moments that could have happened but never made it on screen. The game also introduces genuine branching. Your choices can alter how missions unfold and influence which ending you get. That means from a single playthrough, you might not see everything. There are multiple endings, and your decisions will matter. It's a chance to see alternate possibilities around Judgment Day and its aftermath. So whether you're a hardcore fan of the movie or new to the story, the game offers both familiar beats and fresh surprises, blending nostalgia with new content for fans of action and sci-fi alike. Campaign structure and mission type. So the game doesn't stick strictly to one kind of mission. Throughout the campaign, you'll encounter a mixture of classic run-and-gun action, stealth-oriented segments where stealth and avoidance matter, intense freeway chase sequences, and even future war missions full of 1984-style post-apocalyptic combat. The shifts in pace and style keep the campaign dynamic. One moment you're sneaking through corridors, the next you're sprinting down a freeway or leading a resistance squad against Skynet's forces. These missions jump between the past, events of Judgment Day, and the future, Resistance War, giving a sense of scale and variety. This mix of mission types, shooting, sneaking, chasing, fighting war battles, makes the campaign feel more like a full cinematic ride than a repetitive side-scroll. It also helps each character's missions feel distinct depending on whether you're playing as Sarah T-800, or John Connor. Difficulty modes and accessibility. It comes with adjustable difficulty modes that influence how challenging the game feels. On harder settings, enemies behave more aggressively, time limits become stricter, continues are limited or removed, and boss fights turn harder with tougher pattern. This can make the gameplay intense, especially for players aiming for perfection or high scores. For more casual players or those new to retro-style run-and-gun games, you can choose easier modes that relax enemy behavior, loosen time constraints, and allow more room for retries. That makes the game accessible whether you want a nostalgic arcade challenge or just a fun story ride. It's nice that the developers give room for both kinds of players. Core gameplay feel, controls, and combat. The gameplay in Terminator 2D No Fate feels tight and responsive. Controls are designed to match the frantic pace of classic arcade shooters. You move, shoot, dodge, aim, and even sneak when needed. The action tends to be fast and unforgiving at times, but that's part of the charm if you grew up on old-school run-and-gun games. Combat mechanics give you a satisfying mix of shooting and mobility. You're often dodging bullets, evading blades, or sprinting through dangerous zones. Compared to other games by Bitmap Bureau, this one tries to capture that retro blast feel, as if a 1990s arcade game and a beloved movie merged into one. That pace and fluidity could make it a fun ride for fans of action-heavy, reflex-driven games. Boss fights and set-piece moments. One of the big draws of Terminator 2D No Fate lies in its boss fights and cinematic set-piece moments. You'll face off against the deadly T-1000, and later, giant war machines and Skynet constructs that really test your skills. These fights are designed to be memorable, more than just shoot until death. They often demand strategy, timing, and quick reflexes. Some standout missions look built for dramatic effect. For example, the freeway chase sequences and future war showdown. These sections try to capture the high adrenaline chaos and cinematic thrill of the original film, but delivered in pixel art, 2D format. For a retro fan like me, those big moments feel like a proper tribute to the movie's action legacy. Level design and variety. The game uses level design that manages to stay linear, which helps keep the story tight while still offering variety in scenery, hazards, and mission flow. Some levels are straightforward run-and-gun corridors. Others have verticality, environmental traps, or require stealth and avoidance rather than straight-up shooting. That helps keep each mission feeling distinct. Because the campaign shifts between past and future, the environment changes a lot. From city streets to industrial zones, from hospitals to Skynet war zones, giving a sense that you're never playing the same kind of level repeatedly. These transitions and design choices help preserve tension and maintain freshness even after a few hours of gameplay. Scoring, ranks, and leaderboards. If you enjoy arcade-style competition, No Fate adds scoring and ranking to the mix. At the end of each level, you get ranked. You can chase high scores, compete with yourself or others, and aim for arcade immortality. That adds replay value beyond simply finishing the story. There are online leaderboards, so if you love bragging rights or pushing for top ranks, this could be a big draw. It gives the pixel art shooting fun a competitive twist, which is great for people who like to replay levels to improve. Branching paths and multiple endings. One of the cooler features in this game is that your choices can change the route and eventually influence which ending you get. It's not just a fixed movie retelling. Your decisions during missions will matter. That means you get to explore alternate timelines or outcomes around Judgment Day and beyond. This branching structure encourages replaying the game to see what-if scenarios, chase different endings, or explore what happens if you make different choices. That adds depth to a side-scroller and gives fans a reason to go back even after completing the main playthrough. Visual style and faithfulness to T2. The graphics in Terminator 2D No Fate are pixel art, 16-bit style, intentionally retro, but also detailed and polished. The developers built the visuals from the ground up to emulate classic arcade games, while still paying homage to the look and feel of the movie's world. Expect detailed sprites, atmospheric backgrounds, and recognizable settings if you know the movie. For a fan of the original film or classic arcade games, that is very satisfying. The mix of nostalgia, both for the movie and for old-school gaming, with careful artistic work makes this a love letter to both. The visual style adds to immersion, and it's clear the team wanted to respect the film's aesthetic while embracing pixel art charm. Soundtrack and audio design. On top of the visuals, the game tries to capture the original movie's tone with sound. There's a cinematic soundtrack that recasts music from the film's score, along with new compositions and sound effects tuned for this retro-style action that adds atmosphere, tension, and energy. Whether you're sneaking through halls or blasting enemy, the audio design supports the nostalgic vibe, giving the pixel art world a cinematic punch. For many players, that's an important part of the immersion, especially in a game rooted in a beloved film universe. Single-player focus and extra modes. Terminator 2D No Fate is built as a single-player experience. The focus is on narrative, action, and replayability through modes, not on multiplayer or co-op. Beyond the story mode, there are several additional modes: arcade mode, infinite mode, boss rush, mother of the future, and level training. These offer different ways to play. Hop straight into action, test your skills, or replay levels to improve timing and scores. That gives the game replay value beyond just finishing the main campaign. How long it takes and replay value. From previews and mode lists, it's clear the main campaign will take a moderate amount of time, likely several hours, but not a 40-hour epic, because there are multiple endings, branching paths, and extra mode. The replay value ramps up. You can go back to chase different routes, improve your scores, or challenge yourself in harder difficulty or arcade/infinite modes. If you enjoy perfecting levels, trying different characters, and unlocking everything, the game could keep you busy for a fair bit of time. For casual players, the main story still offers a complete experience. System requirements and performance. PC players can expect modest system requirements: Windows 10 or 11, a dual-core CPU, 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM, and an integrated or entry-level discrete GPU, with a small install size suitable for laptops and older desktops. Consoles supported include PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, with targets of smooth 30 to 60 FPS depending on platform. Switch versions may run at lower resolution in handheld mode and use more compression, while current-gen consoles should offer the best frame rate and faster loading. Overall, optimization appears to favor accessibility across a wide range of hardware, including budget GPUs, older CPUs. Price, editions, and where to buy. The game is being sold on digital storefronts like Steam, Epic Store, PlayStation Store, Xbox Store, and Nintendo eShop, depending on platform. For consoles and PC, you have options. There are standard editions and physical editions, Day 1 edition, Collector's Edition, for those who love collector's items. The extra editions include goodies like metal tokens, cloth posters, art books, and special packaging for fans and collectors. Price may vary depending on platform and edition, and may change due to discounts or retailer deals. But as of current info, there's a base standard edition and special editions for collectors, so you can choose based on how invested you are in the game and memorabilia. How it compares to past Terminator games. Compared to older Terminator games, especially earlier 2D or arcade titles, Terminator 2D No Fate seems more ambitious. Older T2 games often felt limited, repetitive, or detached from the film's atmosphere. This new game tries to fix that by blending arcade action with faithful recreation of iconic movie moments, plus expanding the story and adding variety in gameplay styles. Because it uses pixel art and retro-style design instead of clunky early-era 3D or poor ports, it feels like the Terminator game we always wanted. The mix of gameplay types, story depth, branching paths, and faithful fan service puts it ahead of many previous attempts in the franchise's gaming history, at least on paper. early reception and hype. Fans of the movie and retro game lovers have responded positively to early trailers and previews. There's a lot of excitement around seeing a longtime sci-fi blockbuster reimagined in pixel art form, with arcade gameplay and a love for both gaming and cinematic nostalgia. Many are praising the dedication of the developers, who seem to genuinely care about delivering a respectful and fun adaptation. That said, there's some caution too, mostly due to the delays and uncertainty if the final product will live up to the hype. Given the changes in release schedule and high expectations, some fans worry whether it will meet the vision shown in trailers. Still, the general atmosphere is hopeful and curious. After years without a standout 2D Terminator game, this one might finally deliver for fans old and new. Things that might put you off. Despite all the promise, Terminator 2D No Fate won't be for everyone. Because it's arcade style and retro inspired, it might feel frustrating for players used to modern, smooth chip-away shooters. The difficulty, strict time limits, and punishing enemy behavior, especially on harder difficulties, can be rough. Also, while there are extras and modes, the core campaign might not be super long compared to big blockbuster titles. If you're expecting a huge cinematic epic with deep RPG-style mechanics, this game probably isn't what you want. And finally, it's a single-player experience. So if you were hoping for co-op or multiplayer with friends, that's not here. Marvelous verdict. If you love retro games, enjoy side-scrolling shooters, or are a fan of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Terminator 2D No Fate looks like a really fun ride. It offers a unique blend, nostalgia for 90s arcades, love for the film, and enough new content to feel fresh. The branching story, multiple endings, variety in gameplay styles, and arcade scoring all add replay value, and that's rare for such adaptation. Thanks for watching the breakdown. If you like this deep dive and want more game reviews and honest what you should know videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Until next time, stay alert, stay human, and maybe stock up on ammo.